Hi all, right back to more Fields of Fire, the Normandy campaign. This is mission 1, Trevieres offensive. This is my take 2 part 16. Yeah, 16? Yeah, I think so. This should be the last part of the mission. We're halfway through the sequence of play. We're just about to move on to the enemy higher HQ event. Well, I suppose if that did trigger a counter-attack, we might be around for a little bit longer. Just it might take some time to deal with, that's all. I don't think we're under... I don't think there's any chance of us failing the mission, but I could be wrong. I remember looking at what the counter-attack done the last time I played that previous attempt to the mission, and basically what it does is it puts a PC marker on every card that has a US unit. Then they would spawn enemies and whatever, but the turn would just it would just be still one. When we're finishing the game after turn 10, so the results would probably be we get shot up quite a bit. But anyway, that's to draw a card and then a D10 within that card to get it. So we'll just wait and see. So yeah, I should get this finished. Nothing really to talk about. I think everything's went okay. You can never tell. I just finished I started. Yeah, I've got part 9 out there. I said that already. Yeah, I was watching a bit of part 10 there. I was having some lunch. And yeah, it's fine. That's fine. It's all fine. Right, let's get the part finishing, because there might be a bit at the end regarding putting our experience back into the company and seeing what we get, seeing what we end up with. Because I'd like to. Yeah, I've still got more time tonight. It's only afternoon just now, and I might get the second mission started, hopefully. That's what my plan is going to be. So, enemy higher HQ event. Let's just move on, get on with it. There is not one. Okay, so we can relax there. And then probably just go through some motions, really, because... Oh, no, sorry. I'm thinking we're going to activate our platoons or whatever. No, Grant, you're on the enemies. You're on the second part of the sequence of play. So we're about to move on to the activity check. So there's going to be an activity. Whether it's going to make any difference or not, I don't think so. But we've got a pinned litter team here. Yeah, undercover. And we've got a mortar observer. An artillery observer, artillery forward observer, or spotter, it says on the chat actually. So there are only 2 enemies. We do need to randomise between the 2 cards. So this is a 1, this is a 2. Let's deal with that first. We get a 1, so it is going to be the litter team. So let's get our enemy lap pinned activity check hierarchy ready and have a look. Right, so pin takes priority. Well, I mean, because it's a pinned unit and a litter team, so it's not that we come down here looking for litter team stuff. You go from top to bottom. Yeah, that's straightforward. We're looking at pinned before we're looking at litter team. So it's pinned on same card as opposing unit. No, pinned on same card. No, pinned not undercover. No, it is undercover. So it's pinned undercover. So it's going to be no action rally or fallback. Pinned undercover. That's correct. So we're going to roll a d4. Or draw a d4. I know I say roll. I just I don't know. It's just the same thing, isn't it? I know we're not rolling dice here. We're looking at cards. Which I don't know. It's better rather than rolling. I prefer to draw cards actually than rolling a dice. But anyway, so it's it's on a 4. We get a 1. I think that's no action then, isn't it? Yeah, pinned undercover. A 1 or a 2 would be no action. So he's not going to do anything. He's just going to sit there. So now our artillery forward observer. Well, he's got special rules. So where do we find that? In rule 8, I think. Yes. Yeah. Well, we've seen this before as well. Enemy indirect fire spotters. So just moving up to the top bit there, rather than reading that part, it says, provided the spotter remains in good order and has fire missions remaining, which it does. It's in good order and it has one fire mission remaining. It continues to attempt to call for fire on cards with opposing units in the enemy activity check subsequent turns with the following priority. Units in the same card as its target marker. There's not one of them. We've never come out. I think that's for airstrikes and that. We've never had that. And yeah. Card within its line of sight that has a vehicle. There's none of that. Card within its line of sight that has the most steps. Then if it was to step down the next priority, the one that is closest. So let's go and have a look. So it's only got this target. It can fire into here, but this is a casualty, so this is not a eligible target. This is a pinned paralysed team. Yeah, under trenches. So it can fire at that. Now it can call for fire for very long range, but you can see that the green border's stopping it looking into this card, and the green border's stopping it looking into this card. So fortunately for us, it's just going to call for fire on there, or it's going to attempt to call for fire. So just checking it's is it chasing again? Artillery spotter. It would be a -4 if he gets the draw. He draws 3 cards, and this is his second. This is his last fire mission. So, but this is turn 10 anyway. So we're going to draw 3 cards. 1, 2, 3. Oh, looking for the burst icon. See what we get. Oh, right. Well, I don't think he gets it. I think that's just us. Well, that's a success anyway. That counts as 1 burst icon. Oh, right then. That could be interesting. Right, well, I've got 3 cards with burst icons on it. Yeah. Well, that's going to need a little looking at, because we've got the 3 burst icons and we've got the short burst icon. I know it's succeeding. I get the feeling this isn't going to apply because this is a battalion one. And I get the feeling that he's maybe going to be firing on himself. But I'll need to look this up. Right, so there's the resolving attempt to call for fire. Draw a number of action cards, modified by experience level. Okay, did I take that into account? I did not. I mean, all the German units are lying anyway, but I must admit, I glossed over that. That's right, though. It should be modified by experience. Okay. The attempt is successful if a burst icon, including the 3 burst icon, is present on one of the cards. Okay? If successful, place pending fire mission. If not successful, do not expend any fire missions. Flip all pending fire to active. Yeah, and that's in the fire mission update segment. We're not getting that. So it is successful, but for the 3 burst part, is battalion fire missions. Battalion fire missions represent a whole battalion's guns being allocated in your support. A battalion fire mission is only available to artillery if a drawn card contains 3 burst icons, and if the mission instructions say battalion fire missions are available for the firing agency, then you may perform a battalion fire mission. Choose 2 terrain cards bordering the original target card. Place a pending fire mission marker on these cards too. These 2 cards do not have to be in line of sight of the observer. I wonder if this only applies to the US side. I know we're not getting this, well, because we had it already, and it does clearly state that down the bottom there that battalion fire missions are not available for artillery fire missions. I mean, that is just for us. I want to say that it's maybe just a friendly thing. You know, because it doesn't really give any information there. There's a spotter information there. There's nothing to say about the battalion fire mission thing. And the fact that you've got to pick 2 cards here, I don't know. Just a glance, I suppose, at the enemy side of things, which is probably close by, is here again. Yeah, no, there's nothing there sort of helping us out with that either. I guess it just they don't get that option. Yeah, because it's just all over here. However, the next part we need to look at, so I don't think that's going to apply, the battalion thing. Well, it says it doesn't apply in this mission anyway, but I get the feeling that reading that it was just for us. So short rounds, and we've got a card with the word short on it, with a burst. One of the inherent dangers, and there it's there showing you. One of the inherent dangers of indirect fire is a short round. The complexity of the procedure coupled with the stress of combat means that from time to time a fire mission does not hit its intended target. If a drawn card contains a burst icon with the word short in it, the fire mission is going ore. Is that how you pronounce that word? Ore. I think so. The short draw takes precedence over any other draw made in that call for fire. So that part there was, if we had the battalion fire mission thing, I think it would just, I would say it would cancel that out and the short would take precedence, like it says. If the firing agency was artillery or mortars, place the pending fire mission marker one card closer to the observer along its line of sight, unless the observer is calling and fire on their own position. The observer occupies the target card. In this case, randomly choose a bordering card and place the pending fire mission marker where there. When a short is drawn for an airstrike, randomly choose a card bordering the mark and place the marker there. Oh well, this is good. So that result means he was attempting to call for fire on here. He's got to go one card closer. It's coming in there. So it's successful, and we're getting... I thought there was another one here. There it is. Append the fire mission. It's him that's calling it in on his actual card. So the things that went wrong, and for him, and kind of good for us. Well, it does mean nothing more is going to happen to this. It could mean this ends up as a casualty, I suppose, and might give us an extra point. So it's possible. So yeah, that was the result. So that was the enemy activity done. Back to sequence of play. Capture segment. Captain any paralysed litter teams? No. Enemy casualties on unoccupied and friendly occupied cards are captured. Well, we don't have any. We're not going to benefit from that then at all, are we? Because the fire's going to happen first, so that would not have mattered. I was thinking that we might be gaining capturing casualties here, but the fire, this phase is before the combat phase, obviously. So yeah, in fact, that whole concentrated fire thing's been a bit of a waste then, because it's not going to make any difference, is it? I don't believe. Retreat segments. Well, this is what we were trying to get this guy retreated, but he stayed pinned. He's got a VOF, he is pinned, so he can't retreat. However, with this fire going the way it's went, I think we're fine. AT combat vehicle. Nah, right. So fire mission update. Remove existing incoming. So this comes off, and this would be able to see out the card now. It's just a casualty that's under there anyway, though. So, and then we flip pending fire missions to their incoming side. Now he cannot see outside that card. Not that matters either. And then potential contact evaluation segment. There's no new potential contacts for us to try and find. We've got them all good. Pin recovery, remove pin markers from any. It's not got a VOF. Well, this is only, well, there's 2 pinned units, but they've both got VOFs on them, so it doesn't apply. So combat effects. Well, we're not getting anything because this mines isn't triggering. We're not getting fired upon. So nothing there. However, we might as well go through the process, you know. Well, we kind of have to. It's in the details. So in here, we're firing with heavy weapons from our 50 cal machine gun, and he's got concentrate fire, but he critically hit with his concentrate fire. So we're ignoring the foxholes. So he gets a +1 for the terrain card, +1 for being pinned. He does not get a +1 for the foxholes. So he gets a +2. And we've got -3, -4. So he's got a -2 to this. Yeah, so with a -2, he gets a pin. Really? Yeah, that's a good card, isn't it? That's not got a hit on it at all. He draws a good card, so he stays pinned, so nothing doing. Fair enough. And then the artillery spotter, remember that counts the smaller number because it's incoming. There's no wee -1 up there. So he's on a +1. He does have trenches though, so he's got +3. And his fire will tell me on the card. And then shit, it's a -4. So +3, -4, that's a -1 for him. So -1, that's another good card. There's a pin. Well, he wasn't pinned already, so, but it's kind of irrelevant, isn't it? He's still hidden, pinned under the trenches, and everything's fine. That's it. That's all the combat update ammo. Well, let's just complete things, Grant. Let's just do it right. So, well, actually, that mortar, the artillery spotter, that's him using his last. That's him using his last fire mission, and then for our guys, the 50 cal machine gun, he spent 2 points ammo because he concentrated fire. That's him out of ammo, and should be marked with an out of ammo marker. I know the mortar section, I don't know what happens to that. So I think you put an out of ammo marker in there. Have I not got some set aside? No, I've not got them there. I do have them in here, and I think what happens is, if I can find one, there's one. I'm pretty sure for our heavy machine gun team, we'd get marked with that. So it's still got small arms fire at close range. I'd want to say the mortar would be the same probably. He probably got that as well just now. If it was important, I would go and double check that, and I'm sure it will come up as the game moves on. So that was the 50 cal. Any of the 2 light machine guns fired? Well, we had, come back a little bit, avoid some of that glare. It's coming in through the window. That one there, but wasn't able to fire because it doesn't have overhead fire. Where's our machine gun? It's up here. Wasn't firing at anything, so nothing used up there. No bazookas were used. The mortar team's already out of ammo. Yeah, so that's all good. Everything done. Right. And so next step is clean up. Remove pyrotechnics, smoke, illumination, exposed, grenade, concentrate fire markers. So let's do that. I think that's it. The concentrate fire came away. All the units are now not exposed. Actually, stop. We missed something. No, this is in the cleanup phase, yeah. Evacuate casualties from casualty collection points. So all that work getting these 2 casualties back here has gained us 2 experience points, hopefully. Yeah, I think that was all right. So we've got that, they 2. And then enemies firing at cards without valid targets, shift or cease fire. Well, no, the letter team's not firing at anybody, and there's no VOF, PDF from them artillery, so that stays the same. Defensive missions, adjust VOF, PDF, and activity levels. Well, in actual fact, this is now going to come away because the tripod machine gun is run out of ammo. So it can now not, and none of the other units, remember the mortar is out of ammo as well, so we cannot fire over the top of that friendly unit. That incoming marker stays on, the mine stays on. Yeah, that's it. That's us. Okay, we're done. The end. And just watching into parts 8, 9 and 10 where it's all doom and gloom for Grant. Well, 10, I start coming out of it at part 10. But part 9 in particular, it's all doom and gloom. We're going to fail this mission. Well, there you go. It was probably still quite comfortable in the end. I mean, it did look a bit hairy, but there you go. We've got a lot of units, you know. We've got a big company. And, yeah, I mean, if you spawned every potential contact, every one of them, then I dare say it would be, or let's just say the majority of them all spawn contacts and you got really unlucky, it would be hard work to get through the mission, I think. But I've still never, well, okay, you could say there's mistakes. There's definitely asterisks to these playthroughs, but I challenge anybody to. I'd be happy to watch somebody having a playthrough and not get a rule wrong. That'd be good to see. But it's tricky. It's tricky to keep everyone on board. And I suppose I've always got that excuse that I'm trying to record a video as well, but which is maybe a bit lame. But it does add to the sort of maybe getting a bit stressed at times and a bit flustered. Now these two little blue cubes were because I wasn't sure if we actually captured this guy or not, and he was on this card. And the reason being is we're not allowed on that card. That's not the reason. The reason being was I never had any US unit on the card at the time. But according to the way I read the rule, it doesn't suggest that you need that. You just it needs to be empty or friendly occupied. So that's why I've left it. So the other two were legitimately, well, we had units on them at the same time when we got to the capture phase. Okay, so what we got? 20 minutes. Yeah, we should be able to finish a part. I'm going to sort out the experience. I'm just going to take a little pause and work out what I need to look at and get things ready to sort of go through the finish to the mission. Yeah, there was one little bit I just wanted to check there. Andrew had made a comment on previously, and he's reminding that replacement steps come in after promotions, right? So keep that in mind, because I think that could be important. Right, first of all, let's where's using between mission sequence, gaining experience. Yeah, let's go through this. I suppose we've got time. I know I went through it, but this is quite important. Now it looks like the guys have made a far better job of this, and these I want to say, let me just zoom back out there again, all this stuff's good. I think something like that was in the rule book, but this here is invaluable. I think these examples, how you're going to do this. Hopefully I won't have to refer to that, but that's where you need to be looking. That's where you need to be looking at the end of the mission. So yeah, let's just browse through this quickly. Yeah, so playing a campaign, that's what we're doing. Although playing individual missions will provide you with a great game experience, playing a series of missions, the campaign will give you a much deeper insight into command of a company. When playing a campaign, the actions you take after a mission are as important as those within the mission, and they are just as much part of the game. This need to balance between mission accomplishment and sustaining the company across the campaign is a completely different dynamic than playing out a single standalone mission. The player sets the conditions for the next mission based on how experience is distributed and replacements are integrated. When playing a campaign, you must successfully complete a mission before moving on to the next one. The mission instructions will indicate what constitutes the successful completion of a mission and the number of times it may be attempted. See reattempts. Well, we didn't need to go there, although I did play through the mission twice. Yeah, I don't know. Do the errors in this one warrant another playthrough? They may well add up to that, but I'm not doing it. So in between mission, I don't think anybody will want me to do that anyway. I think you'll want to see the next one if you've got an interest in the game, of course. In between missions, you will rebuild your company with remaining lats and replacement steps. You may spend experience points on promotions for surviving steps and skills. Okay, gaining experience during a mission. Company receives experience points by accomplishing tasks during the course of a mission. Mission instructions indicate how many points each task is worth. Possible mission tasks might include securing key terrain, evacuating casualties, taking enemy prisoners, and so on. If a mission takes place over several attempts, all experience gained during one attempt can be assigned during the setup for the reattempt. Often you are asked to clear or secure cards or card areas such as bunkers or urban combat buildings. Determine their status at the end of the mission or attempt. A clear card is one that started the mission with a PC marker or that was part of a PC marker placement schedule in the case of defensive missions and now has no enemies or PC markers. A cleared card area is one that was occupied by enemy units at some point during the mission and now has no enemy units present. Secured means a friendly unit occupies a cleared card or card area. And just to finish this off, you do not get points for a card or card area that is cleared during a mission but then reoccupied by the enemy before the mission is over. And you cannot get double points for clearing a location twice. At the end of a mission, tally your experience points. You will use these to patch up your company and award promotions and skills before the next mission. Okay, good stuff. Right, so there's a sequence between... Let's zoom out a little bit and get all that in. Between mission sequence, so that's kind of where we are. Perform these activities in the listed order between missions. So yeah, we will go through this. I may not have actually ran through this last time, so that was probably silly. Right, well, bullet 1 there is add up total experience points for the mission. So let's do that first. Okay, just quickly a way of looking for, because we do have written down on this piece of paper, grenade attack 1. A successful grenade attack. So I wanted to check that, because the unit fell back after we successfully threw our grenade. We did get the success result. And I think that counts as successful, but I'm never sure. So I was just looking up, and it's actually... I posted the question, although I found another thread as well, but I actually posted a question asking this previously when I played before. Mark had replied by, he plays it that way, yes, it counts as successful, however, it was one of the ones that the rules were like unclear about and not so sure, and another thread that I found about it was the same. It looked like they were counted as successful, but again, there was no clarification. So I'll leave that here. Maybe Andrew can shine some light on if that does count, if the unit falls back. I think the answer is yes there, and I'm going to give myself it. So if I happen to get that wrong and we move on and then get an answer later down the line that I shouldn't have got it, then I might not be able to rewind that. But I want to keep things moving. So. And I'm not going to go and ask a fresh question about it because there's a couple of questions out there. One that I've asked myself. So, yeah. So let's tally up our experience points. So we get 5 for securing the primary objective, 4 from securing the secondary objective, and 3 for securing the attack position card. And just to be certain of the meaning of these, we've got unoccupied, occupied, cleared, and secured. This is on page 8 in the sort of what do you call it? Not player aids, no, glossary. That's it. Yeah. So an unoccupied terrain card is one with no units or PC markers. Occupied terrain card is one with at least one unit on the card, regardless of the presence of PC markers. Now, it doesn't say which side. Depending on the unit present, the card can be friendly occupied, enemy occupied, or jointly occupied, i.e. be units from both sides. A card is cleared if it is one that started the mission with a PC marker or a scheduled PC marker in the case of defensive missions and has been cleared of both marker and enemy units. And a secured card is a cleared card, which we just read, that is also friendly occupied. Okay. We ignore casualties of VOF markers on a card when determining if the card is unoccupied or cleared. So you see, and you get to ignore the VOFs if we had any left. Well, that would actually be relevant for this card. However, this card does not need to have been secured. Well, it just says ignore it for the cleared. I mean, we've cleared that card. The VOF does not matter to it, you know. Right, so have we secured the objectives? Yes, objective 1, we've got friendly units on it, PC markers are off, no enemy units on it. Same with that, same with, almost blundered there, but brought a unit back into the attack position. So I'm going to tally this up. We get 5 points for the primary, 4 for the secondary, 3 for the attack position. And then moving on, now this again, whether it might be clear in the new mission book, or just a wee bit deceiving, it does say another. It says the word another there. So clear another card that had a PCA marker, 2 per card. Clear another card that had a PCB or C marker, 1 per card. And the reason that another bit is important is because we've already counted this card for 5 points. We've counted this one for 4 points. They had B markers on it, so we can't count them again. This one had an A marker on it, we can't count that again. But we have cleared all the other cards. And like I say, this is cleared. Remember, there's a VOF, but it doesn't matter. So this is cleared as well. So for the A's, we get 2 per card. Well, the A's were along this row, so we get 2, 4, 6 points for that in total, 2 for each. And then for the B's and the C's, we get 1. We don't count these 2, so 1, 2, and then 3, 4, 5, 6. So we get another 6 points for that. Okay. And then what do we have next? Capture enemy prisoners. Well, no, we didn't capture prisoners. Capture an enemy casualty, 1 per step. Okay, another annoying press of the stop button. And what makes it more annoying, there's a little icon just above the stop button that I've sometimes hit. And when I hit that, I then go and try and pause, and it stops the recording. It's just so frustrating, honestly. Urgh. Yeah, I know, but you're still using it, Grant. You're not looking for something else. Right, you can just catch in the corner there, 1, 2, 3, captured. Well, I'm gonna have to go with the fact that it's captured. The way it's worded, it just feels wrong. You know, the fact that we were able to capture it when we didn't have a unit on the card. But the way it's worded suggests that it's captured if it's unoccupied. Which I don't feel like I played before in the original game, so whether that's been altered or maybe just clarified, like I say, there's that many things that needed clarified. So that would be 3, but I'm going to sort of put a little in brackets 2 to that, just to sort of see if we need that experience point. And I'll maybe feel a little more comfortable if I don't take that one, but we'll see. And then where are we at next? That was capturing enemy casualty. We had 3 of them, right? Perform a successful grenade attack, 1 per attack. So we're giving ourselves 1 for that. And then complete HQ event marked with asterisks at turn. Well, yeah, a bit of a. I actually don't. No, wait now. Yeah, we would have, wouldn't we? Because we did find out that it was clarified that these are not optional. And the one we got was situation report, must spend 3 commands to send report to battalion. That would add a big effect on that turn because I did not carry that out. I want to sort of go back and say that I might have only had 2 commands. You know what? I'm tempted to have a look at that. I don't know what part I was in though. Okay, I was able to find that. I actually found it quite quickly as well, because I remember that it was at the beginning of the game, and it's in part 2. I go over a few things and talk about the designer confirming that it was optional, but his wording in the response could be read as not that. So, however, it's been clarified now by Andrew that these are going to be clear, that they're not optional and you have to do them. Now, we did get lucky though. I had 0 commands saved and I drew a 2. So I got 2 COHQ commands. I would have had to spend 3. And as Andrew also mentioned, you're not penalised if you can't actually carry it out. Well, I only had 2 commands. The only sort of follow-up part I had, did I lose the 2 commands? I don't think that would be the case. I think you need to have 3 or more, and then you've got to do that. So that was kind of lucky. Although I was playing it again just by old threads, and possibly should have asked the question. Andrew would have got it for me and said, "Look, it is actually meant to be mandatory. You've got to do them," sort of thing. So. Okay, well, we didn't do it because we didn't think we had to, but we couldn't do it anyway, so that was fine. And then successfully evacuate a friendly casualty, we get 1 per casualty. So again, we've got 2, we put all that hard work into getting 2 casualties to the casualty collection point, so we get 2 for that. So And I did count the grenade attack. I'm not... Well, maybe I should question that as well, and let's just see what would happen. So we've got 5, 9, 12, 18, 24, 27, 28, 30. So I think we had... Yeah, my very last playthrough of this, I had 30. But the last playthrough we had that I decided to redo, I think we had 29. If I was to take the one off for that casualty, I would have 29. If I was to take the one off the grenade, I would obviously have 28. So that might matter, because I think we worked out 29 was quite a nice number, wasn't it? It gave us everything. So I think 30 doesn't really matter. 29, yeah, I'll maybe just give myself the fact that I've got 29, and we'll wait and see. And you know what? If I move on and I've got one extra experience point, I shouldn't have had it, then so be it. Right, so that's what worked out an experience. So let's carry on with... I've moved the book. Hang on. Nice and easy to find it again. It took me 10 seconds or so to find this again. So just, you know where these things are. You start remembering... I'm like that with rulebooks. I guess others are. You start remembering what sections you need to be looking for as you become more experienced with the game. And, for me to have done that on the tablet right now, it'd just be a pain, Just be a pain. So I'm just so glad I printed this out. So we've added up our experience. Rally any weapons teams, spotters, and HQs on the fire team sides to their good order side. Right, well, we don't have any of that. Reduce all other LAT units to green experience level except those set aside as prisoner guards. Well, the only LATs we've got on the board... In fact, I want to say the only LAT we've got on the board, because remember, this is a casualty. I'm just going to bring him out of that cover so we can see him. This is our only LAT. He's a paralysed team, so he is green anyway. What I'll do is I'll bring him out of there now as well, because we only need the units left. In fact, I'm lying. Oh yeah, I don't think... I did forget about this guy though. Couldn't I have done something there? Aye. Oh, Grant, that's a blunder. That is a blunder. Well, I can't go back and do it sort of now, because we had second platoon. In fact, he's still got 2 saved commands right now. He had not moved. He could have went down here. In fact, we had 2 general initiative that we just wasted. Aye. Yeah, divvy. Because we could have brought that up and put it back into one of these squads. Now, actually, when I think about it, I don't think it's going to matter. Don't think so. Because as long as our squads have got 2 steps, we were able to get that squad back on the board. As long as I've got 2 line steps in them, when we go to replace it with a green step, the squad still becomes line. So I don't think that's going to matter, but I could have done that. So we've got this fire team here, we've got this paralysed team. They are reduced to green. It's only going to affect you if you had any assault teams. Remember, this is not a fire team, this is a bazooka. And we don't have any assault teams there, so all is good there. Right, where are we now? Reduce all LATs. Reconstitute squads, HQs, and company weapon teams, not attachments, with the LATs. Okay. Note that original... Right, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to bring the units off the map. We don't need to know anymore. There's nothing... Yeah, we're good. We can move things about now. Right, there's a company all drawn off the map. You can see everything's there, so there's not anything that we didn't miss. We do have 1, 2, 3, 4 squads that need replacements, and our mortar section's 1 short. The good thing there is that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We get 6 replacements per mission. That's in the mission instructions. I'll not go and show you that, but you get that on every one of these Normandy campaign missions, I believe. Whether it changes up a bit, I think that's throughout We have a fire team, a paralysed team, and 3 casualties, so that should add up to our step losses, and yes, it does this time. Good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're all good. So what were we doing first there? I think we were using the lats, weren't we? We can use the lats, but not the casualties, obviously. So reconstitute squads, HQs, and company weapons teams, not attachments, with lats. Yeah. Note that original platoon assignment of an lat does not have to be tracked during the game. Lats can be used for reconstitution freely. Add experience to any steps you want in order to upgrade your squads, HQs and weapons teams while reconstituting according to 12.3. Note that any HQs reconstituted from lats in the previous step cannot be given experience upgrades. Note that any HQs reconstituted. Yeah. So if we were having to bring, you know how we brought first platoon HQ back. If we were having to reconstitute it from a lat here, we would not be able to make it line. So that was we needed to have that, because then he would have started the next mission green again, and we want to upgrade them, So and then next bullet is add any replacements as specified in the mission instructions as green experience. Right. So Andrew is right. Well, I'm not. Yeah. This is where he pointed out that we add our experience first before we get our replacements, before we get any replacement steps. So that means that you can upgrade the green replacement steps that come in. Discard any replacements aren't needed. Spend any remaining experience points and skills. Reset all ammo and fire missions. Right. Okay. Right. Well, we might as well read on before I go across. So using experience points, it costs 1 experience point to promote a step from green to line. It costs 3 experience points to promote a step from line to veteran. You may only increase a step by 1 level of experience between missions. Any remaining experience points can be used to purchase skills for the next mission attempt. I'm probably not going to do that again. I'm going to just do exactly the same if I can. It seemed to be fine. The company loses unused experience points. You cannot use experience points to promote attached or supporting steps assigned to the company by the mission instructions. Does that not count for our artillery forward observer? Yeah, because he's an attachment. So he's line, but we cannot try and upgrade him to veteran because he's an attachment. Attached or supporting steps. Yeah. And using experience points after combat patrols. Right, we don't need to read that. And then here's about replacements. If we had 4 casualties, at least we would actually get a veteran replacement step on top of, it's for every 4, isn't it? For every 4 casualty steps. We only got 3 again. This is what we ended up the last time. So we're not going to get a veteran step. But we will get 6 green steps, and that's in the mission instructions. So then we would allocate these replacement steps, and then you would determine the final experience level. So let's go, without going too far more into that, let's try and get this sorted out. It's all quite important stuff to read all this, and like I say to you, do go and look at these examples. I'm pretty sure. I haven't read through them because I've got a grasp on how it works, hopefully. But this wasn't in the previous rulebook. I don't think it might have done something, but nothing like that. So, and just probably should look at this. This is where we need to be looking when we're trying to put things back together. Okay. So, first of all, the lats. We've got 2 lats. Now these are green steps. Okay, so this is going to go back into 1-1 platoon, let's just say. This is going to go back into 1-1 platoon. So I take that off the map, I flip him over. Now, see, again, we had 2 line steps there and we've added a green step. So this squad is line. So I think it then forgets now that it's got a green step. Okay? Don't think it's going to matter in this case, but Andrew, please butt in here and tell me if it still does matter that this has got a green step. Because if it had 2 green steps, granted, it would be green. It wouldn't be a line, would it? Yeah. So I don't think it matters, does it? If it had 2 line steps, we've added a green step to bring it back to full capacity. And it is, well, we just need to look here and look at a 3-step unit. It's got line, and it's got a green step, which is any. So the result is line. Okay? So, yeah, I think the result happens now. I think we now then forget that this has got a green step. But I might be wrong. So anyway, we've got a paralysed team as well, right? So let us just put that into that. No, you know what? Oh, no, we need to put... Well, it doesn't matter, does it? It doesn't matter. I'm going to put that into that. So that was... that was green as well. So let's turn that into line. That's line. This is line, but needs a replacement. So that's our 2 lats that we were able to use. And obviously, the fact we've got 3 casualties, 1, 2... Oh, what about the mortar section then? Should we have put one into that? So it's got 2 lines. Again, it doesn't matter. It's got 2 lines. Well, actually, this might matter because I think, is mortar section not one of the ones... I'm looking back to my previous... Because I'm just going to copy that again. Did I turn the mortar section to veteran? No, I didn't. So I'm going to do the same as that. Because I had 30 experience points. And whether this is a good way of doing it, what I do or not, I don't know. But it's just simple. It's quite a process. So I'd rather just make it easy on myself. So I don't think that does matter. So that's our 3 casualties. 1, 2, 3. Well, we can take that. But now we need to... Yeah, hold on. So before we get these 3 green replacements... Right, hang on a second. Let me try and keep this simple for myself. So I want... Yeah, that's fine then. That's why. I want the 2nd squad of the 1st platoon and the 3rd platoon to be veteran. 2nd squad of the 1st platoon and the 3rd platoon to be veteran. That's good. I just want to make sure these are line at the moment. Well, was this not a guy that's got a green step in him? If we still have to remember that just now. Well, again, it doesn't matter, because if we want to turn him into veteran, we need to turn 2 of the line steps into veteran. Yeah, and if the other step's green... Oh, no. No, see? That does add up. Yeah, so that does make a difference. I think I need to ask this question. I mean, I could use one of the other squads. I think I'd like to clear this up though. So you can see what I'm saying there. That, this was reduced. We put one of the lats into that. So at the moment, are we still looking at this as a line step, and a green step? Because if we are, and we want to try and make that veteran, well, it means we've got to promote the green step to a line step, and then so we're going to have to spend 1 extra point. Yeah, I kind of need to ask that question. I don't think it really explains it here, that. Well, maybe it does, Grant. Just read into it a little yourself. Okay, so I went and asked this question, actually. I think this is kind of important. Well, it is important, because it would cost me 1 extra point. Now, what I could do is not... Now, which was the other unit that we brought back then? So we had 2 steps, 1, 2, 3. That's our casualties. It wasn't that guy, was it? Was it this guy and this guy? This is what makes me think that it doesn't matter now, because this is an awful lot of keeping track and remembering that you've just put a green step into these. I want to say it was this one and this one, because my intention was to make this veteran, but depending on the answer I get to this question, that might cost me 1 extra experience point to do that. Okay. And we do that first, then we add, and it's after that we add the replacements. So we're going to have to remember that there's a green replacement going in there, which will keep that line. Green replacement going in there, which will keep that line. And a green replacement going into the mortar section, which will keep that line. And I didn't intend turning any of them into veterans. Now, what I could do is not veteranize that one, just veteranize that one, because this finished the game with 3 steps. Or was it this one that was reduced? You know what? I can't remember. Damn. I need to cut the video and have a look. See, that's, again, like I say, that's why I feel like it maybe doesn't matter, because how are you able to keep track of that? It's too complicated, isn't it? But maybe you are, because this is all happening at the same sort of... Right, you know what, I'm going to stop the video there and go back and just have a look at that, because that would, if it was that one, then I don't care, because I want to veteranize the 2 that have got the rifle grenades, basically. So give me a sec. Alright, hi all. Well, that was a bit frustrating. I mustn't have removed the previous video recording off the camera yet, so there was about 5 different parts. So I was hunting through trying to find the right bit. I'll get all this straightened off once I get this on camera. We're at about 50 minutes, I think, here. So yeah, I could do with wrapping this up. It actually is this unit that's reduced one. So that's not going to... It's this one and this one that are also reduced. The other 2 that I replace the lats with. So it's not going to affect what I want to do here, okay? So what I'm going to do is, I'm just going to do exactly what I've done before. So I'm going to get my mission log out. Now we've got, right, how many points have we got then? What have we decided? Are we going to say 30? You know what, I'm going to go in between. Is it 30, 28 or 29? I'm pretty sure it's 30. I don't think it's 28, but I'm going to go for 29. And the reason being is 29 gives me what I want. There, I'm just going, I've marked 29 up there. That gives me the number that I want going based on my previous game that I've done. So what we're going to do, and remember, it's one point, 1 experience to turn... to go from green to line, and 3 experience point per point to go from line to veteran. Okay, so first of all, we want our COHQ. Now I can't turn him to veteran. I can't go line and then veteran, right? I can only do him once per thing. So we're going to turn him, I'll just bring that in there actually. We're going to spend 1 point, it's only going to be 1 point. So the COHQ, I'm just going to write this down. 1 point. It's going to cost me 1 point, and he's going to become line. Okay. So we're going to mark ending experience here for the COHQ as an L for line. Right. That's cost me 1 point. Yeah. Let's not mess about. I'm going to do the same with the XO. And the first sergeant stays veteran, right? And that's what they started at. Green veteran, line veteran. So that was a COXO. I spent 1 point on him. He's now line as well. Right, and then let's do our platoon HQs first. The platoon HQs are all green, right? So we don't want to mess about with them. So they are all going to become... we want all them to become line. And again, we can't jump them up to veteran. So 1, 2, and 3. So that's actually... Right, first platoon HQ, I suppose I should jot this down like that, just so I don't make a mess. 2nd Platoon HQ, and 3rd Platoon HQ. They all spent just 1 point to go from green to line. So that's a spent... that's not there anymore. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 points up to now. But it's when you try and make things better and that things become a bit yuck. So yeah, and I'm just going to stick with what I've done. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. Right, as usual, interruption. Don't know where I am. Right, okay. So I'm going to spend. Yeah, I want 2nd squad of 1st platoon and 2nd squad of 3rd platoon. They've both got rifle grenades. I can't get all 3 of them because I don't have enough points. I've got all this worked out from previous. So to turn this to veteran, right, these are 3 line steps, and we know that for sure now. My question is still out there about this one. Is it a green step and 2 line steps? However, these are 3 line steps, so that's not anything we need to worry about. And these are 3 line steps. So we need to convert. What do we need to do to get a veteran? We need to convert 2 of the line steps into veteran steps. So we get veteran, line, and then we've got a veteran result. So that's what we need to do. So 2 of the line steps converted to veteran. Well, remember that it costs 3 points each to convert a step. So we convert 2 of these steps at 3 per step. So it's 6 points. So 6 points turns this into a veteran. So 2 1 platoon. So that's second squad of 1st platoon. Not 1st squad. 1st squad stay in line. So 2nd squad is going veteran, and it's costing us 6 points. So 2 1 platoon is costing us 6 points and is becoming veteran. Okay? And then the 3rd squad we're just leaving as line. Right? Now, with the 2nd platoon, I'm just leaving everybody line. So I'm not adjusting them because you just don't have enough points. And then with the 3rd platoon, I'm doing the same as I've done with the 1st platoon. So 1st squad stay in line. 2nd squad, the one with the rifle grenades, going veteran, and that's costing me another. So that's 3. Yeah, no, it's not. It's 3 2, is it? No, 2 3 is. No, it's not, Grant. Have I got them the wrong way about? Yeah, no, the 3rd platoon. Yeah, so it's 2 3. I always get a bit muddled up with them if you move them about. So that cost me 6 points as well to turn him veteran, right? And then we want to... Now, everything else there, apart from the motor section, which we're not going to touch, is all line. These are all line steps. Now, we can't do anything with that. Sorry, we can't do anything with that. Do we not touch the 50 cal machine gun? We do, don't we? No, we don't. Why have I not done that? You know what? There's a reason behind that. I don't know. I've thought it through before and worked it out that it's a good idea. So let's just add this in and see if we've got it right with the numbers. So 50 cal we're leaving at line. The 1st weapons machine gun we're leaving at line. Now then the 2nd weapons machine gun we're turning into veteran. So that's 2 weapons. No, I'm just going to 2 LMG. Now they're only 1 step, so it's costing me 3 points to turn that into veteran. And then all 3 bazookas were turning veteran. And then the mortar section stay in line, right? And the 3 bazookas, like 1 baz, 2 baz, 3 baz, all cost 1. All cost 3 experience each to turn them to veteran. So V, and we left the mortar section line. We can't touch the artillery anyway. So let's just see if we've got that right. And then you see that stuff on the right. That was me adding up my numbers. So COHQ, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is 11, 17, 20, 23, 26, 29. Spot on. And we decided we were going to take 29. We're not sure if it should be 30, 29, or worst case scenario, it could be 28. But I really don't think so, and I'm confident about keeping 29. So that's it. Yeah, that's the finishing levels. So now when we go in to create our next mission log for our next mission, these will all be in here at their starting experience of, yeah, far better, and nothing's going to be green. So that's what we've achieved. Right, so, but we've used our experience points up. We're not doing anything else or anything like that. So then we do replacements. Now, I did go through this wrongly the last time, because I think I'd added my replacements already. But it was Andrew's comment that got me thinking there. So at the end it says, successfully completing mission, the company may receive replacement steps. You only receive replacement steps after successful. Yeah, in addition, some veteran steps. We're getting 6 steps, right? We can use these to supplement any unit in the company which has lost steps as casualties. We've got 3 casualty steps that we need to replace. So we only need 3 of the replacements. The rest of the replacements are going to go to waste, which it tells you in here somewhere. Yeah. No. It tells you in there somewhere anyway. I'm in a bit of a hurry now to finish this all. Yeah, we don't need to do any of that. So with our 3 steps, basically, or 3 of our 6 steps, we're going to put 1 green step into that. Now that becomes line. Now, I know for a fact that once we go into this next mission, we don't remember that this has got 1 green step in it and 2 line steps. Shouldn't say 100%. I'm 99% sure that that's the case, because if it wasn't the case, we would need to track this somewhere, and my guess would have to be that they would have to have something to sort of track it on a table or something. I need to write it down. So there was our 3 replacement green steps. It still keeps each of these squads and the mortar section at line quality. So what I've written down on the thing is fine. It hasn't reduced any of them. We can now take our 3 casualties away. We don't need them anymore. And we're good. We're good to go. Good to go for the next mission. Other losses, winning a campaign. I've read through that already. It tells you there's different ways of doing it. Standard, survivor, hardcore. I'm pretty sure we're just playing standard. And yeah, it's a nice wee example there of how to do it. Read all these. It can be tricky. And then clearly all these examples on here are amazing. Like, I think the addition of that was really needed. I haven't read through it, to be honest, but I can see right away that it's going to be telling you how to go through this procedure. And hopefully I've done it right. I done it through in the first playthrough, and I think Andrew probably watched through it. So apart from me doing that in slightly out of order, so he's right, you do your experience points first, and then you add your replacement points. So that's our company ready to go with our Jeep for the next mission. Well, that's an attachment in actual fact, so that might not be part. Well, I actually think that we get that and the mortar forward observer for the next mission. But these are attachments. This is our company. That was an attachment to the company. Okay, I'll get away for now, and hopefully when I come back later this evening, and this map will have changed to a bigger map. Yeah, well, we're going to go, like I say, we're going to stretch 2 more cards up. So I'm going to have to tighten things down the bottom here a little bit. Maybe make a little more. I mean, I don't need that space there because there's never a PDF in there. So I don't need to even have a gap there at all. So I can tighten that up, maybe make these a little smaller. We might get lucky and not have hills, which take up a little more space, and yeah, we'll make it work. So I'm looking forward to starting the next mission. Yeah, okay. So that's mission 1, Trevieres Offensive, take 2, complete. We did get through it in the end after worrying about nothing really. It was quite comfortable. We've got our company just the way we want it for moving into the next mission. No harm done. We'll give that guy his radio back come the time. First platoon. Yeah, that was a little blunder. Okay, there was quite a few mistakes, but yes. Okay, I'll be back with mission 2, hopefully this evening. Cheers.